When people discuss the emissions of greenhouse gases, you'll often hear these GHGs described as scopes 1, 2 or 3. These are very different from each other, both in where they come from and how they're measured. Scope 1 emissions are directly from the operations of a company or other organisation. They can include carbon dioxide created by the burning of fossil fuels within the company, for instance in boilers, a blast furnace, or even company cars. Essentially, this is the result of what the company burns. This scope is the easiest one to measure. Scope 2 is a result of what the company buys in terms of purchased electricity, heat and steam. It's indirect, for example, based on the electricity grid and whether power is created by burning gas and coal or from renewables such as wind and solar. It's harder to measure than Scope 1, but can be reasonably estimated. Scope 3 is the toughest and often the biggest source of emissions. It is indirect and in both directions. Upstream are the emissions created in making goods bought from suppliers. It also includes commuting and business travel. Downstream is what happens to goods sold. For instance, petrol burned in a car from an automotive company, or for a household goods company, hot water used with detergents that are sold. As you can imagine, Scope 3 is incredibly difficult to measure accurately, but it's also critically important to estimate if we're going to reduce global emissions.